I'm grateful that you stayed with us here on Breakfast Daily on ChannelOne TV. I told you that after the break, we'll be having an exciting conversation, which conversation is on cervical cancer. It's this month, and we are creating a lot of awareness on that. But in studio for us to have conversations around that is Dr. Conniewood, that's Colleen Wood, William Goldie, resident of obstetrics and gynecologist, member of the Medical Women Association of Ghana, and she is in studio with us. We also have Dr. Anita Motibo, family physician, Kolebu Polyclinic, and also a member of MOAG. You are welcome, ladies.
Thank you.
How are we doing?
Great.
Thank you.
We are doing fine, right?
Yes.
Let me start with you, Goldie, Dr. Goldie. I like the Goldie is like very short to mention.
That's okay.
Yeah. Apart from the name Colleen Wood, is that your surname?
Yeah, that's my surname.
Oh, are you a Fanti?
Exactly.
Okay, okay. That's how come you have Colleen Wood.
Yes.
Okay, okay. How is the education on cervical cancer going like in the country recently?
It's going great, very great, precisely because the national rollout for vaccination started late last year. So the noise is quite, loud, and everyone is talking about it. So I would say it's going great.
Okay, good. Dr. Sibo, let's start with this. What is cervical cancer?
Okay, so cervical cancer is a cancer that affects the cervix. So now the cervix is the part of the female reproductive tract between the vagina and then the womb. So in local parlance, we usually say the neck of the womb. So when we are speaking to our patients, we say awodenano. So the cervix is that area. Okay, so when you have cancer affecting that area, then it's cervical cancer. Oh. Yes.
Wow.
And obviously, since men don't have cervixes, it's a cancer that affects primarily women. Yes.
Good. And Goldie, what are the causes of cervical cancer? Maybe somebody's watching us today or hearing of it for the very first time.
Yeah.
Causes.
Okay. So cervical cancer is one of those cancers that are not really passed down in terms of genetics. Okay, it's very preventable, and there are different types, but largely one of the causes is having persistent HPV infection. Oh, wow. That's a human papilloma virus infection.
So there's a link?
Yes, there's a big link, a very significant link. So something like smoking, okay, and having a reduced immunity like HIV, stand on its own, but majority, more than 90% of the cause of cervical cancer has been linked to persistent human papilloma virus infection. And for you to, shall I say, get infected with that virus, early coitus, to be specific, when you initiate sex too early in life.
At what age?
The research shows that below, you see, it's age stratification. If you are below 18 and your first sexual encounter is below 18, your risk of acquiring the infection is higher than those above 18.
Oh, wow.
Yes. So if early sexual initiation is one of the major factors, and also having multiple sexual partners or having high-risk partners. Okay, wow. Yes, and multiparity, because you see, once you're having a lot of children, it's possible that they all not belong to one person most of the time, not all the time. That has also been linked. And if you keep acquiring other sexually transmitted infections, then you have a very high risk of acquiring HPV. And then it will stay there calmly, quietly, for close to 10 to 30 years. You may not see anything. Yes. You won't see it. Some people get the infection and then they heal from it. But others too, somehow, unfortunately, it stays there quietly over the years as a young woman, teenager, then it will be there, not going, not healing, not regressing. Then it's changing, how the cervix is like or looks like or functions, and the cells there. Then by the time it peaks around the 40s, when you are a working class, you are all there, then it starts causing problems.
Wow, this is interesting. So What are some of the symptoms you see, Dr. Anita? Now, from what you've said, as low before 18 or 18 and above, and it's going to peak by 40. What are some of the symptoms you see to say, hey, I'll have to pay attention to this?
Okay, so like Goldie said, it's a very long life cycle for the virus. So initially you have the infection stage where you are infected by the HPV. And when you are infected by HPV, there are no symptoms. So you that are only visible when we do certain investigations. At that stage too, you might not have symptoms. Then it progresses to the cancerous stage. There you start having abnormal offensive vaginal discharge. You might be having pain during sexual intercourse. If it spreads beyond, you might start having bleeding after sexual or even during sexual intercourse. If it goes beyond the cervix, the womb, it starts affecting other parts of the organs around there. You can have problems with urination, problems with defecation, pain. If it goes beyond into your brain, then that means it's spread. Then weight
into
loss.
Your brain?
Yes.
It runs into your brain?
Yes, cancer can spread throughout your body and can enter your brain. So you can have seizures and then fatal, eventually death. So that is the life cycle. But once again, remember she said you have 10 to 30 years. So we usually say an average of 15 years. So that is why we are making the noise, because within that time, there is so much you can change. Even when you have the precancerous lesions, there is so much you can change. We have colposcopy. They can actually go in and burn the area of the precancerous lesions. So, and with that, it is curable. So it's actually one of the cancers that if you catch early, you can cure, and then you won't have any problems later. Wow. So that is why we are making noise about it.
But Goldie, is there a way someone can go for screening? Maybe I haven't seen any symptom yet, but once a while I'd have to go in for screening and see whether there is something like that there. What would be your recommendation? How often should a person go for screening? Which facilities? And yeah, those questions like that.
Okay, so first of all, we have 3 steps, but before the screening, the most important thing we see is to protect our teenagers. That's where it starts from.
Okay.
The education and then the vaccination.
So have you been to some senior high schools to do the education?
Yes,
and all that?
yes. On personal levels, on the Medical Women's Association level, other groups that call us to give talks and all that. Yes, we do all these things. The education has to go wide, and then the vaccination. So primarily, if we protect our teenagers, then we are protecting our future mothers, our daughters, our aunties. That's primarily. Then when you go out of that cohort, then the screening comes in. Okay, between before 29 years, you can screen with just the pap smear.
Yeah,
but
pap
after
smear.
30, then now you go with the co-testing. That means you do the pap smear, okay, which will look at the cells and see whether you are even developing any pre-malignant lesion, as Dr. Tibo said. And then the the test is to detect the HPV, whether it is there, and what can be done so that you can be followed up. We have a plan. If it is there, then we know how to follow you up. So below the 20, we go for the 3 years. And then now we go for the 5 years. Then after 65, if for the past 10 years you've been screening and it's been negative, then we just, stop the screening there. And for the screening, people say the speculum is uncomfortable. That's what, because social media, all these things are going round and round and it's like pain. But I always say, and I've always been saying that small discomfort is nothing compared to the pain cervical cancer can cause you. The physical pain, okay, what it takes from you, from the quality of life, the anemia, the not being able to ease, the weight loss.
There is this emotional suffering there when
Yes.
when you have cervical cancer.
Yes, it takes a lot out of the life of a woman.
Wow.
It does, and women contribute a lot to our economic, status as a nation. We do a lot as women, so it takes a lot from the individual, the families, and even the nation as a goal. Losing human resources. Yes, it does. So the screening, as I was saying, is quite important, so that we catch it early, so that we can cure it when you catch it early.
Is it expensive? What does it take for you to go in for the screening? I heard you say prevention. So there's a vaccine that you're going to take to prevent you from contracting. Is that it?
Yes.
But is it expensive?
So currently, so that is one piece of good news that we have.
Oh,
so
nice.
like you mentioned, last year, the country actually rolled out the HPV vaccination for girls between 9 to 14 years. So it's something we've been making noise about every year, advocacy for it to be included in the extended immunization program as a country. And so that has been done. So for children, for girls 9 to 14 years, as part of the EPI, it is free. When it comes to the other ages, so young women, older women, they would have to go to facilities to purchase the vaccine. And it depends on the different kinds of vaccines. And for those ones, unfortunately, they are not as cheap. So it can go anywhere between 1,000 to 3,000 per shot.
Oh, wow.
And
per shot?
Yes.
And how many shots do you need?
According to international guidelines, you need 3 shots.
3 shots.
Yes.
So 3,000 by 3, 9,000.
Yes. But depending on, so another piece of good news is the Society of Obstetricians and Gynecologists of Ghana also have guidelines which came out this year. And so based on that, some people can get away with 1 shot or 2 shots. Yeah, so based on your risk stratification, you might not need to get all the 3 shots. So that is for the vaccination. When it comes to the screening, there are different kinds of screening. So we have the VIA, where we look at the cervix, we use vinegar to bathe the cervix, and then we look at any changes. That one is relatively cheaper. So at my facility, we have a women's clinic that runs on Thursday afternoons from 12 to 2. It's about 50 cedis over there.
Okay.
I don't know about the price at different places. But this month, we will be running screening campaigns. We don't have the details yet. But today, for example, Medical Women's Association of Ghana is launching the cervical cancer awareness program in Formena, Ashanti region. So they will be doing some free screening. It's currently going on. Yes. So they'll be doing some free screening over there. Yes. So we'll be running those different campaigns at different areas. So as and when the details come out, we will publicize them.
So unfortunately, we have limited time here, so
Yeah.
we won't be able to talk about everything. But Dr. Goldie, will you want to share with us how would someone be able to get in touch with the Medical Women Association of Ghana, or get in touch with someone that, okay, I would want to ask questions about this, or the person has to go to a health facility?
Yes, thank you very much. So you can go to the nearest health facility. Most district and municipal hospitals have beautiful setups in terms of, they have the reproductive health units, they have the obs and gyne, which they usually say maternity units, well structured. You can speak to any obstetrician, gynecologist, and you get the information you need. You'll be directed to where you can get the screening done. It's a very well organized structure. At Greater Accra region, we have a family planning unit, but it does a lot of things. As she said, we do the PAP, co-testing, we do the colposcopy, we do the visual VIE. We do all these things, and it's not just January. These things run the entire year. So it should be part of the checklist. So you just need to enter a facility and just ask, no matter the level or where you are.
This is interesting. Final words from you, 30 seconds, 30 seconds to Anita as well.
Okay, so I would say that every woman should have a screening on her checklist this year. Thank you very much.
Let's get the word out. Everybody should know about cervical cancer so they know how to prevent it.
Very important. So get the word out. You heard it from Dr. Anita Momo Thibault, family physician from Korle Bu Polyclinic, and also a member of MWAC, and also Dr. Colin Wood William Goldie, a resident obstetrics gynecologist and member of MWAC. Make sure that you get that female friend, your sister, your mother, your girlfriend, your grandmother to check today, because it's very important. We take a quick break here. When we come back, we bring you more on the show.